Good morning, gamers. We are here with another Path of Exile 2 video. I am currently 1 day, 15 hours into this character here. This is my starter guy. I've only made this guy and then a separate co-op character, but if you look at my playtime and deaths, I've died 88 times, so very, very deadly game. That's like 2 deaths an hour, I think. And most of those were in maps, and some of them were in like one of the Act 2 zones or bosses. I can't remember exactly where, but very deadly game. But luckily, I have like much experience with games. So, anyways, so yeah, this is my character so far. Level 72 Invoker, going pretty much into lightning damage. So if you see, I'll do my skills first here. We got Gathering Storm, which is kind of a cool skill. You charge it up, and Perfect Release gives you like this shocked ground effect. I was using this in the campaign just for fun. I don't really use it in maps very much because it's very bad to do that animation. Because like if you're standing still for that long, you probably will get stunned and instantly die. It's good for bosses though, since it does apply the shock ground always, and also I linked it to lightning exposure to just get more exposure on the target, and then like more damage if you perfect time it, and then yeah, momentum for a little bit more damage as well. I haven't even updated this skill in a long time, so probably will either take it out completely or rearrange the supports as needed. And next up, I have Shattering Palm. This was a recent addition. Basically, the loop is Shattering Palm a pack, and then use Storm Wave to clear out and blow up the whole pack. So that's been working pretty well, as long as you don't get stunned out of this teleport or your Storm Wave. And yeah, I just went with more AoE and then gaining damage when you freeze an enemy with this. I don't think that procs too often, but when it does, it's just a little bit more damage. And then the main DPS skill, Storm Wave here, we have Primal Arm, so just more damage, more attack speed, and then extra as lightning. I might look at replacing this with another damage link because I want to go more into the cold damage. And then the next skill, Tempest Flurry. I use this a lot in campaign, and yeah, I'll roll the clips at some point, maybe right now.
Oh dear. Now we just have to remove it from that giant construct. Good luck.
And use. Should I exalt this? Oh! Yeah, so this skill was like really powerful at like just slamming early game bosses combined with Tempest Bell. Just getting this was like a huge shift in my player power during the campaign. And then I linked this. Now I link this to Electrocute for electrocution buildup, which synchronizes well with a different aura later, which is Combat Frenzy, and I'll go into that in a moment. But this used to be on Stormwave in campaign, so I could get power charges from range. And then Crescendo, Final Strike performed twice, so this does, if you see this lightning bolt here, it will now do that lightning bolt 2 times in a row instead of stopping. And that lightning bolt is a majority of the damage here. You can see it does like about a 6,000 damage hit, which is, you know, it's like 3 times more than this normal strike, and then there are 50% more than this. So it's a very big effective damage hit. So I figured doing more of those would be better. And I used to have more attack speed on that as well. And then just more area damage, more less area of effects. I don't think it actually affects. It does not affect the actual area as far as I'm aware, since it really doesn't. It has an AoE tag, but it's not very large. See if there's a range on here. Yeah, the lightning bolt doesn't have a range, but it gets affected by this gem since it has an AoE tag. Pretty cool little interaction there. And then the last like attack I use is Tempest Bell ability. If you're familiar with Hydrosphere, it's very similar to that from PoE 1. Basically, you put the bell down, and it will reflect your attacks. Here, you can actually watch this little video here. There we go.
Tempest Bell must be charged up by
Yeah,
hitting
so you charge
enemies
them
with
up,
your staff.
put it down,
Once placed,
hit the
you
bell.
can hit the bell with
Huge. It's huge damage on single target. Lets you basically not double your damage output, but it's probably almost double. Look at this. Because the impact hits him, and then this is like something like that. I don't know. There's some math. Never mind. And then the buff spell I'm using is Charge Staff. So this gives you added lightning per power charge consumed up to the max. And I'm running full power charges right now, so I have 7 potentially. Meaning this buff, when maxed, will give me like 7 to, what is that, 87 to 84 added lightning, which that is pretty good, pretty damn good, especially considering that's like half-ish of my weapon damage at the time. I've gotten a better weapon since then, but yeah, this seems pretty good. Even if you don't have 7 power charges, it's still very, very nice. And then more duration, so it just lasts longer, a little quality of life. And you can count as removing the charges, but you don't actually remove the charges. So you can kind of cheese it where you can get like, if you get 2 power charges from your Combat Frenzy, you can like sometimes double or triple buff with this and just get up to 6 right away, or 7. So it makes it very cool and smooth to just like you know, put these supports on it, or this support specifically. And then to generate the charges, we use a combo of Combat Frenzy, which if you go freeze build, you don't really need this electrocute, but the way that this works is if you electrocute an enemy, which is a specific ailment, it's not shock, you will have to use this gem, electrocute support, which will then cause your lightning damage to contribute to electrocution. What electrocution is, it's basically just a different type of stun, but it lasts for 5 seconds. And it procs very often on like just trash mobs throughout the campaign and throughout maps. So you can pretty much keep up your charges that way without, and you might be wondering, oh, why, if you get a frenzy charge, why does that help you get power charges? And for that, I will just quickly go into the skill tree here, and I'll show this node here, Resonance. So what this does is it converts charge gain to a different type. And the line we really care about is the top one. So you gain power charges instead of frenzies. So Combat Frenzy says you gain frenzy charges, but we don't gain frenzy charges anymore once we click this. We gain power charges in their place. So that's where that conversion comes from. And then yeah, Herald of Ice just for more explosions. It looks really cool. So yeah, linking that to, I don't even know if these work, but whatever. Close combat and blind. So I guess if I blow up a pack, something's alive, it'll blind the rest. And then Herald of Thunder, this has been on the entire time I've been playing. This is just a very good buff. If you kill a shocked enemy, you get a little bonus. Your next 3 attack hits will do a little lightning bolt, which then does this much damage. So it's like a little bit of a damage boost to your normal attack. Really helps out on bosses with like trash mobs. If you kill them, get the 3 Herald bonuses, then you can just absolutely obliterate them. So yeah, that's all for the skills. I guess I'll go ahead and show the stat page real quick. I'm leaning into evasion right now, and I got a little bit of armor for my chest piece, but for the majority of my gameplay, it was just evasion, and yeah, not even capped res yet, just slogging through my maps, I guess. And yeah, here is the rest of the stuff, if you want to take a gander at that. Nothing too crazy. Then go ahead and look at the gear here. I'll try to put all these in the same. Yeah, so we got the weapon. This is a very recent upgrade. When I got to maps, I quote unquote crafted this. It had like 80 or yeah, it had 78 fizz and then the life leech on it. So I just hit it with a regal orb, hit it with an exalt, and I hit flat fizz again. Hit it with another exalt. It hit flat added physical damage to this one right here, the polished mod, and then I just kept slamming it and got attack speed. It was an insanely lucky craft. And then yeah, for the helmet, just got like life and res. Basically every gear is like life and res if I can get it. Life, crit, res. This was like a recent upgrade too. Body armor for a little bit of armor, a little bit of evasion. Just got a huge. I slammed T1 life on this, or whatever. No, not T1. T9, which is not even the highest tier. I think it's T11. But yeah, this is a crazy item for my gear, and also I'm playing Soul Self-Found because trading is cringe. And then this ring is like, yeah, I don't even know. I got this at like level 40. It just fixes like strength, I guess, because I need it for the chest piece. Don't really know how else to get a better ring at the moment. And then this other ring just has some damage, life, cold res, lightning res. Basically just filling out my resistances. Gloves, just a pile of life, some res. Belt, this is a crazy item. Look at this life roll, T10. And it's not even the T1, I don't think. I think it goes to T11. Because I think I had a piece with like 180 or something, but. And then, yeah, boots, just basic. All you're looking for is movement speed. If you can get life movement speed, that's great. If you get life movement speed and a res, it's even better. And then for the charm, using just a rarity of items found charm seems to work, especially after the recent changes. It definitely helps make better loot drop. Let's go take a gander at this skill tree here. This is a very crusty first build thing. So yeah, like for Ascendancy, I just went this crit chance node into the ignoring the enemy res. Very nice for early game. Once I got this, I was pretty much obliterating bosses with like maybe 1 to 2 bells, and they just got like evaporated. And then for my second Ascendancy, I did go for this, which actually sucks because it's a spell, which I probably should have just read that before I clicked the Ascension, but it was also just underwhelming, like damage wise. So I unspec'd out of that, went for the extra damages lightning, and then the Unbound Avatar, which I'm thinking about unspecking this because it's not really necessary, and I also just don't press it because I forget I have it. So it's more of a it's like more of a bossing button, I guess, but also I'd rather not have an additional like button I can only press sometimes, because you need 100 Unbound Fury, and you only can get that after like it's like 20 seconds or so, like, and then it's yeah, it's only if you inflict an ailment. So if you already have a shock on a boss, I don't think it applies it again. So it takes a long time to build this up on a boss. Like if it's only a single target boss, it takes a while. So I'm probably gonna inspect that and just get the extra cold damage, since this will give me a large damage amount for my skills. As you can see, if you hold shift, by the way, you can look at like what nodes increase your damage to. And I bet on my storm wave it would go up higher if I didn't have that gem in that makes me do less cold. So if I did spec that, I would go take this out, and then we can see here it's pretty substantial, getting about 15, 18, what is that number? 1600 damage per second. So it's like, yeah, pretty noticeable. And then you could obviously put a new support in here to then better utilize that. And also you get some just nice freeze, chill, defensive stuff going on. As for the tree, just pathing through some crit, getting your attack speed. I want to get this next for some skill speed. It'll just make the build feel better. Probably going to unspec out of some of this stuff here. I just got all of these nodes immediately, just because they were close and they've seemed pretty good at the time. The life on kill has been treating me really well, just for extra sustain. Especially when you kill like, 20 mobs at a time on a map, you kind of just get your whole health bar back. Yeah, and then like early game, I just pathed pretty much straight down here to like this damage wheel, and then down here to the elements wheel, and over here. I might unspec this too. It's not that crazy of a damage wheel now that I think about it. And I might actually go, I'm probably going to go here as well for this defense and just stun build up stuff, because everything is just so powerful. You just need that extra defense. Just some Herald stuff, because I'm using both Herald of Ice and Thunder, so this actually gives you a lot of damage. Even more so if I were to get some cold damage, because right now I don't have any cold damage. Then, yep, full crit wheel. And that's it for there. And then eventually, once I've rounded out the campaign, I ended up getting all these power charge wheels, which they seem to be pretty good. I'm not sure if I'll keep these in the future, but they are theoretically giving me you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 charges times 12 damage. It's like 48 flat lightning damage. Seems pretty okay. It's probably not the best. 10 points total. Yeah, probably not worth it. Probably would just rather get that give you damage. Like these wheels, I've always wanted to get these. These are actually probably really, really, really good. This whole like section, just path up here, 30 if you chilled, 30 if you shocked. Like you definitely are better off doing that and then dropping the power charge stuff. And then you don't have to worry about keeping up a 7 power charge buff the whole time. But yeah, that is the build for now. Pretty much only played this character, been enjoying it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.